Hey everyone, this is Rob McLam. Very disheveled looking Rob McLam. Needs a haircut, needs to shave. I guess I'll worry about how I look after I make my A. JMC 602, Assignment 6.1 video podcast. First video, the birth of clickbait and fake news of yellow journalism. I did not expect the name Pulitzer to be spoken about in this story. Of course, yellow journalism, clickbait and fake news really goes back to before the Europeans crossed the Great Pond and made it their way to the Western Hemisphere. It's been going on for a long, long time. And so I found it ironic that Pulitzer's name was brought up. And of course, being from Hungary, coming over, he was part of the process, I guess you could say, to illuminate and find ways to advance the news industry. Yeah, it's funny to me because if you look at social media, there's this emphasis on pictures and seeing things, and the attention span's is going shorter and shorter and shorter, and people don't really want to read anymore. And so Pulitzer, what he did really, maybe it was the genesis of that movement, by being descriptive in his writing and allowing people to see what that picture looked like, or at least gather enough information to have a mental image. Maybe that was the start of that too. But it certainly is something that in all my classes, all the travels or whatever, education-wise, in regards to writing, I've always been told, and I've always had the idea in my head that you need to be descriptive as you can. You need to paint a picture. It's not just words. It's words that, to a means. It's words to describe and give that person a portrait that's reading. If they're taking the time to read, they certainly deserve that. I like that, he was, obviously so much of the great writing and such, the Pulitzer Prize is named after him. He has that. But I was sort of surprised that he was, I didn't know he was not American, first of all, and I was sort of surprised that he was a part of the process to move over and really become a person who illuminates in such a manner. For a second there, I thought maybe he was involved with Spotify or selling something too. I had to remember, oh no, that's an ad. Okay, we're on a podcast. Maybe one day I'll hawk items on my own podcast as well. You had your two videos. You had your school rock, which of course is something I look forward to, the power of the verb. You have the action verb, you have the transitive verb, you have the intransitive verb. I taught OCS at high school. I had to learn about that. I think that actually helped me in an ironic way as I became a writer around the same time. When I got to writing, I hate to say it, I didn't really know a lot about verbs and adverbs and things like that. I just didn't know it. I think if you tested me on it, I probably would have failed. But learning in that structured environment, or teaching in that structured environment, I should say, ended up helping me learn. And power verbs are great. But you also want it to be concise. You want to find that balance. And the schoolhouse rock has really been a highlight of this semester. I've gotten back to seeing things I had not seen in decades, and I will put that in my little viewing rotation that I have on my YouTube channel that I keep, where I keep my videos. I have my songs, I have my old TV shows and such, and now Schoolhouse Rock will be in the mix too. And then of course, taking it back would also have to include Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al Yankovic singing a word crime song. Yeah. So, this wasn't Eat It or Like a Surgeon. This was him doing something that actually connected. I thought it was funny, but also thought there was some merit to what he said. A lot of people write in the way they speak, and slang is seeped into verbiage, and maybe that's good. I'm not sure. When someone says I kinda, I always want to put kind of, when I'm dictating that quote. You got to find a balance when you're doing that. You obviously you want to make sure you're being true to what they said, but again, I don't want it to seep into my writing. I think needa, shoulda, kinda, woulda. Those are, are they grammatically correct? I don't think so. I don't really look at it that way. And so that was part of the takeaway I had for his video. Again, so much of this is going back to my youth, and maybe that's why I look like one of the Doobie Brothers right now. Subconsciously, I'm looking the way these videos are making me feel, which is old. So I enjoyed this week. I enjoyed the learning portion of it, and I think the good news is I probably will keep all three of these, even the Pulitzer video, or pardon me, video, audio. Keep that in my viewing little rotation, and like anything, if you flip through TV and you see Shawshank or Good Godfather, you stop and watch it. You maybe picked up something you didn't get the first time. I'll keep these rotating, and I'll listen and listen and listen, and it'll reinforce and teach me again and again. So, good lesson, good week of videos. I enjoyed it.